And welcome to Exotic PC's video review of the Alienware M18x. We started carrying Alienware laptops about a month ago for a number of different reasons. One main reason is that you can get the new AMD 7970M graphics card. Now in this M18x that we're reviewing with you today, we actually have dual 7970 graphics cards, which is pretty exciting. And later on in the review, we will show you some benchmark scores and some 3D Mark Vantage scores of those dual GPUs. Among that, for specs, we also have the 3rd generation Ivy Bridge i7-3610 quad mobile processor, as well as the stock 6GB 1600 MHz RAM, which isn't a lot of RAM coming stock, but you do have 4 DIMM slots, so you can go all the way up to 32GB with those new 8GB modules. Hard drive, we just have stock hard drive in here, which is 500GB, 7200 RPM. There is 3 hard drive bays, which is really nice on this 18.4-inch laptop, so there's plenty of room, future growth and expandability there. And for optical bay, we just have the stock slot load 8x DVD-CD combo. So this is our first video review of an Alienware system. Again, we just started carrying them about a month ago. And we thank you for joining us today, and we will go ahead and get started in the review. Okay, the first thing we want to go over with you on this Alienware M18x is the screen. Now, this is an 18.4-inch laptop. This is the largest laptop that we currently carry. About 6 to 8 months ago, we saw Sega release the 8180, which was a really great 18.4-inch laptop. But for right now, this is our flagship, and it's our only 18.4-inch laptop. Now the screen on this is a Full HD WLED 1920 by 1080 screen. It is glossy, which I'm sure you can tell it's extremely glossy. There is no upgrades to a matte screen or anything like that right now. However, we are on the hunt for a great matte screen replacement that's 18.4 inches. However, besides being glossy, the screen on this is really nice. It's really clear. We're running some 3D Mark Vantage scores here on the screen so you can see just how nice the picture is. Going from left to right, it's not washing out terribly, and in my opinion matte screens tend to wash out more from side to side, so the viewing angle on this is fairly wide, as again I'm sure you can see the glossiness and the reflective quality of the screen going from side to side. Now going down, we're not seeing a terrible amount of wash on this glossy screen, given most people probably aren't going to use their system at this sort of angle. Okay, then with tilting the screen back, we're not seeing very much wash at all from the back. You can actually probably see some of our video review backlighting there. This is the farthest the laptop will hinge backwards, if you will. So the viewing angle in this perspective isn't that far. I actually anticipated it to be a lot farther. But overall, the screen on this, in my opinion, is really nice. My only gripe is that it's glossy. I prefer matte screens myself. However, since it is a glossy screen, it doesn't wash out as much from side to side, so it does have a really wide viewing angle. Okay, next we'll talk about the exterior finish of this M18x. The back cover and the rest of the laptop is an anodized aluminum, so it does have sort of a very hard rubber feel to it. Not the same rubber feel that you get on like the new Asus G series, like the G55s, G75s. It is a very nice finish, very scratch resistant. It does pick up on fingerprints a little bit, but not as bad as like a really glossy hard plastic finish. The keyboard, you can see, is an illuminating keyboard, and this is one of those features that is completely customizable in the Alien FX Command Center software, and we'll actually show you that interface here in just a second. The palm rest area, this again is an anodized aluminum, so it does have sort of like a hard rubber feel. It's actually very comfortable to rest your palms on while typing. Very, very nice. And then to wrap up in the front, on both sides you do have that traditional LED sort of aesthetics. I'm not really sure what to call it. I sort of look at it as like an afterburner. It really reminds me of, you know, the rear exhaust on like the ASUS G series, like the G55s, G75s. It isn't an exhaust or anything. It's purely here for aesthetics. But again, the LED light in here, you can go in and customize, and we'll actually show you that interface. Okay, going over the keyboard and point device. The point device on this I really like. It is that rubber finish that we had talked about earlier when discussing the exterior finish. There's no friction whatsoever. The clickers themselves are really nice. They're really freed up. They're really responsive as well. And then you can see around the point device is that traditional LED light glow that Alienware has been putting on all their systems. And you can actually go in and customize the color of this, and we'll show you that here in just a second. Now the keyboard itself, to me the keyboard is different. It's not what I'm used to. It's definitely different than like the SteelSeries keyboards that MSI is using. It's a very nice keyboard. It is completely customizable. Right now we just have it illuminated with red, and we'll actually show you that Alienware FX interface here in just a second and show you how you can customize that, as well as turn the lights off and show you, how well all these features illuminate in the dark. Now the keyboard itself, it does flex slightly. I'm hoping you can see that there. I wasn't expecting it to flex at all, being an Alienware and actually being, the cost of this system. But it's an okay keyboard. On the left side there, you do have some programmable buttons, and then with this being an 18.4-inch laptop, you of course over there on the right have that number pad as well. So overall, it's really nice. I'm just not used to the keyboard, but it is a nice keyboard. The point device itself, I actually think is really great. It's probably one of the best point devices that I've ever used. So hopefully that just gives you a quick rundown of the keyboard and the point device, and we'll actually go ahead and show you that Alien FX interface where you can customize all of these features. Okay, we just wanted to go over the top above the keyboard on this M18X. On the left there, you do have a set of 3 indicator lights. You have caps lock, number lock, and scroll lock. Then in the middle, that Alienware head, that's going to be your power button. Then on the right side, this is a series of various controls. On the left there you have a volume control, volume down, volume up, and then mute. That's that third one. Then in the middle you have a track selection, left, play, pause, and then track selection, right. Then you have your eject button for your slot load optical drive. Then you have your Wi-Fi. You can turn your Wi-Fi on and off simply with that. And then that right one, that is going to open up your Alienware Command Center. And we'll actually show you that here in just a minute. Within that Alienware Command Center, you can do a lot of various things. One of the things that I think is the coolest is that you can customize all the different LED features on this Alienware M18X. Okay, we turn the lights off here for you, just so you can see the illuminating quality of the keyboard, the touchpad area, and all those various LED features that are traditional on Alienware laptops. Now you can go into the Alienware Command Center, which is an icon on your desktop, and you can go in and you can customize all these different LED features, all these different zones. For example, the Alienware logo there, we'll actually go up and we'll select it, and we can change it to blue if we want. Here's a green. Change it to yellow, or you can change it to white if you like. Then the keyboard itself, looking at the MSI SteelSeries keyboards, those are only split up into 3 zones. Here on the Alienware, they actually split it up into 5 zones, if you will. The keyboard itself is divided up into 3 zones, and then you have the numeric pad on the right, which is another zone, and then you have those programmable keys on the left there that you can go in and customize. So this on the left, we'll actually go and change that to a blue. Here it is as a white. The keyboard itself, again, is 3 zones. You can just go in and select whichever zone you want. we'll select that middle zone and change that to a yellow. Maybe the left side, the WASD keys, that area will change to a blue. And then that numeric pad over there on the right, we'll do a purple. So it's really nice, in my opinion, that Alienware gives you, such customization options as far as, going in and changing the color and really being able to personalize, the look of your laptop. Now you do have those command keys up there at the top that are red. We'll change that to like a pink. The touchpad area, as you can see, is red right now. We'll just do like a blue, just to show you that that can change. And then those LED lights in the front, you can actually go in and change those as well. And we'll change that to just a yellow. So again, in my opinion, it's really nice that Alienware gives you this feature. I think it's great that you can just go in and customize, your laptop to this level. Okay, one last thing we just wanted to touch bases on before we turn the lights back on. We did convert everything back to yellow on that keypad, so now everything is yellow, just to do something a little bit different. But also in this Alienware Command Center, you can go to Alienware Touch, and you can control the sensitivity of the touchpad and then the macro keys. You can go in there and you can actually program what those left keys do on the left side of the keypad. So we just wanted to show you that really quick. Okay, just running through the ports here really quick. Starting on the left, this here is a security lock. Then you have your traditional RJ45 Ethernet port. 15-pin VGA port. So if you want to run to an external monitor, you can run to an external monitor that route. You do have an HDMI out, and actually on this M18X you have an HDMI in on the other side, which we'll show you in just a second. You have a mini display port. These here, you can see that SS at the top stands for super speed. These are super speed USB 3.0 ports. There's two here. There's actually 4 on this M18X. The other 2 are on the other side, which we'll show you in just a second. Then for audio jacks, you do have an SPDIF out that runs to 7.1 audio. You have a microphone in, and actually on this microphone in you can reassign it to an audio out and run to 5.1 analog audio out. And then to wrap up, on the left side here you do have 2 headphone jacks, this right one being analog headphone. Okay, in the front, there isn't any ports or anything located in the front. Now to the right side, we do have a slot load DVD-CD combo, and you can upgrade that to like a Blu-ray reader or a Blu-ray writer if you want. The only thing that's really different on these Alienwares is that Dell actually puts in a slot load, which to me is really different, but sometimes it's not necessarily bad to be different. If you didn't want to go for an optical drive, you wanted to run an optical drive externally, you could upgrade that optical bay to like an SSD or a hard drive, and then combine that with the 3 other hard drives. You would have 4 hard drives. Above the slot load DVD player, you do have an Express Card 54 slot, 9-in-1 card reader, which is really nice that you get that flexibility with having a 9-in-1 instead of maybe a 4-in-1 or a 5-in-1. Then you do have 2 more USB 3.0 ports like we had mentioned a minute ago. So you do get 4 total on this M18X, which is really nice. The thing that I found a little bit different is that all other manufacturers on their USB 3.0s, they indicate it with that blue in there. This is a first actually for me on these Alienwares that they don't do that. Then you do have a eSATA port, which is really nice, and this also actually subs for a powered USB 2.0. So it does have that power share technology in there, meaning that if you wanted to plug in your cell phone or maybe your iPod or something like that, and the laptop was actually powered down, you could still charge those external devices from this USB 2.0 port. And then to wrap up, you do have an HDMI in. So if you wanted to plug your Xbox in and use the monitor on here, anything like that, it is really nice that they're giving you an HDMI in as well. Then to wrap up, on the back side, there isn't any really ports on the back side. You do have your DC power input that's located just in the middle there, and then you can see we have 4 rather large exhaust vents. So that wraps up the ports on this Alienware. I think the port package is really nice. They give you a lot of flexibility. The only thing that I found really different is that they have a slot load DVD player, but you can upgrade to a Blu-ray reader or Blu-ray reader writer, or if you don't utilize an optical bay that much. I personally don't. You could opt for like an SSD or a different hard drive in there as well. Okay, we just want to show you really quick the system BIOS on this Alienware M18x. To get into the BIOS, when your laptop is booting up, you just press F2, if you didn't already know. You can see in there, we have that i7-3610 quad mobile CPU with a CPU speed of 2.3 gigahertz. And then for the 2 discrete graphics, you can see we have the dual ATI graphics cards in there. For hard drive, we just have the one 500 gigabyte hard drive. There's a second and a third hard drive, and there's also M-SATA in there as well. For the AC adapter type, I'm not sure if we discussed this earlier or not, but it does have a 330 watt AC adapter, which is like huge. But you are powering dual graphics cards, so you need a very large AC adapter. For memory, you can see total memory. We have 6 gigabytes. There's a 4 gigabyte stick in there and a 2 gigabyte stick. There is a total of 4 SODIMM slots, and you can put all the way up to 8 gigabyte modules in there if you want for 32 gigabytes. Going over into the advanced, there's quite a bit that you can do in here. One thing I'll mention, this does come RAID capable. Wireless, this is where you can enable, disable your wireless or your Bluetooth, etc. Security, every laptop BIOS, there's always a security feature where you can go in and set an administrative password if you like. Boot priorities, you can go in and change these and then exit. So, again, there's not a ton that you can do in any laptop system BIOS, but actually here on this Alienware M18x, you can actually do a lot, and it actually tells you a lot as well. So that's just a quick rundown of the system BIOS. Okay, we just got done running some 3D Mark Vantage scores of the GPU and CPU here, and we'll go ahead and pull that up for you. Now again, this does have the dual 7970 from AMD in it, and for a benchmark score, we got 28,838. One word, in my opinion, insane. Like, I've never seen a 3D Mark Vantage score that high. Earlier, I believe about last week, we did a video review of a Sager 9150 with the stock 670 in it and compared it to a 9150 with the 7970M graphics card in it. And with the single 7970M graphics card in that Sager, we saw a 3D Mark Vantage score of about 21,000. Now we're hitting almost 30,000 points. That's just, like I said, that's just insane. Looking back at like the 560s from NVIDIA, we were seeing like 8,000 points, and now we're quadrupling that, almost tripling that. So an incredible score. Again, this is the dual 7970Ms, and for the CPU, we just have the stock i7-3610 quad mobile in it. 3D Mark Vantage score, again, I'll say it a third time, is just insane, hitting almost 30,000 points. Okay, we just want to show you some thermal images. Now, this M18X has been on for about 4 hours. We've done some 3D Mark Vantage scores and benchmarking. So the CPU and both dual GPUs have been running really hard. So in my opinion, this is what you would expect to see for about the max temps. Now, looking at the keyboard is getting a little bit warmer than I had thought. You're reaching 100 degrees or slightly over. The same with the palm rest area and the touchpad. Those areas are getting warmer than I would have thought. Okay, looking at the AC adapter, temperatures aren't getting that hot. This is a 330 watt AC adapter. It needs to be that big because on this system we do have those dual 7970s. Okay, looking at the exhaust, all the exhaust vents are in the back. There is 3 exhaust fans and 4 vents. You can see the 4 vents there. Temperatures aren't getting that hot, not as hot as I've seen on some systems. And actually looking at the underside of the system, you'll see those 4 vent areas towards the top there. The underside actually isn't getting that hot either. And I think part of the idea being that the underside isn't getting as hot is because the CPU and the dual GPUs are actually located very differently than they are on an ASUS, a Sega, or an MSI. Okay, we just wanted to show you the underside of this M18X really quick before we pull off the back cover. As you can see there's 4 exhaust vents. There's 3 fans underneath, 1 for the CPU and then 1 for each of the GPUs. That vent there, that's going to be your subwoofer. I don't know if we mentioned before, but the audio package on this is really nice. Audio is done by Klipsch. In my opinion, they actually could give Dynaudio a run for their money in a side-by-side sound comparison. And if that's something that enough people request, that's a video that we could do, is comparing the sound of these Alienwares to the MSIs with Dynaudio. You'll notice there in the middle, that is a completely engravable aluminum plate, so you can put your name on it if you like, your gaming tag, whatever you like. You can go up to, I believe it is 21 characters to put something on there. In the middle here, this is going to be your battery. And one thing that Alienware does that we actually haven't seen any other manufacturers do is they actually put a battery test button on here. So you can press that and it'll show you how much battery power you have. There it illuminated. I guess I wasn't pressing it hard enough. So it'll actually show you how much battery life that you do have, which is really nice. Okay, now to pull off the back cover, you do have to completely remove the battery, and then there's 4 screws located around the edging, I guess if you will, of where that battery rests. And then this back cover, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to slide it towards the exhaust vents, and then it will lift right up. Now, first thing you'll notice in the upper left there, that's your first hard drive bay. That is that 500 gigabyte 7200 RPM hard drive. Then in the middle here, just below where the battery sits, that's 2 of the 4 SODIMM slots. And in there for stock, we have a 2 gigabyte and a 4 gigabyte stick at 1600 megahertz. So stock, it comes with 6 gigabytes, 1600 megahertz RAM. Your Wi-Fi card is located over here. This is Wi-Fi Bluetooth combo. You do have an M-SATA slot there in the middle, just down from the 2 SODIMM RAM slots. And then if you'll notice, we back up here, you can see those 3 fans. Now, in my opinion, the cooling on this is really nice. When we ran those benchmark scores earlier of the dual 7970s, we only saw temperatures reach 74 degrees Celsius, which I believe is 160 degrees Fahrenheit, somewhere in there. So the cooling on this is really nice. The 3 fans, 1 for the CPU and then 2 of them for each of the, or excuse me, 1 for each of the GPUs, so you get 2 for the GPUs. Coming up here, you'll see that right there, that is going to be that subwoofer located here underneath. So that is just the inside of this M18X. I was a little bit surprised to what I saw when I pulled off the back cover. Looking at some of our other video reviews of like the MSIs and the ASUS's, usually you pull off the back cover and the CPU and GPU are right there. On this Alienware M18X, the dual GPUs and CPU are located under the keyboard. Okay, just want to show you how this M18X is going to arrive at your door. It is going to arrive double boxed. However, we just pulled this M18X out of our inventory, so it is only single boxed, but when you order from XOTIC PC, it is going to come double boxed. Now, opening up the case here, it's a really nice box. It's got that Alienware head branded on it. Just opening up, you'll see here, the first thing you'll see is this packet of information. You're going to want to hang on to this. There's a couple DVDs in here as well. Now you also get this really nice mouse pad. If you use an external mouse, Alienware includes this really nice mouse pad for you as well for free. Okay, and then on the right side here, this is where your power brick, your AC adapter is going to be. Now pulling out your M18X, it does have the dual things, the styrofoam there to protect it, which is really nice. And then it does come with this Alienware branded, it is sort of like a velvet cover, which is really nice. Really protective cloth, and your battery is already in it, so all you have to do is flip it open and simply just turn it on. And there you go. That is how your M18X will arrive from XOTIC PC. And thank you for watching XOTIC PC's video review of this new Alienware M18X. It is the 18.4-inch laptop from Alienware. In my opinion, it's a great system. It has a great look to it. Performance-wise, this is top-notch. Again, we had those dual 7970M graphics cards in there. That doesn't come stock. That is an upgrade option that we can do for you. Last couple things to touch base on. You know, there is a handful of anti-Alienware enthusiasts out there, and I think most non-Alienware users, their biggest gripes are customer service and price. Now, for price, the stock configuration price point on this M18X is just above $2,000, so it is an expensive laptop. It's definitely a DTR laptop, a desktop replacement, and in my opinion, the extra $200 or $300 that you might be spending on an Alienware system, you're basically spending on the aesthetic looks of the system. You know, this is that anodized aluminum exterior finish, which is going to add a little bit of price to it, but also add you value as well. And then again, all those LED lighting features that are traditional on Alienwares, you are going to spend an extra, you know, couple $100 for, just for that aesthetics. The second point was customer service. Now, we've heard that Dell doesn't give out great customer service, and so one of the advantages of ordering an Alienware laptop from us, XOTIC PC, is that you get great customer service, or at least we pride ourselves on our customer service. Some other advantages from ordering an Alienware from us: you don't pay sales tax. Unless you live in Nebraska, which is where we're located, then you would have to pay a state sales tax, but you don't have to pay sales tax on this from us. We do offer some discounts that Dell doesn't offer on their Alienwares, like student and military discounts. We do offer a 3% cash discount if you don't use a credit card, so we pass those savings on to you. So to conclude, great system. Go to our website, exoticpc.com. That's www.xoticpc.com, and check out this new Alienware M18X. Again, below in the comments box on this YouTube video, let us know what you think. This is the first Alienware video review that we've done, and we plan to do more. So definitely give us questions and feedback, and let us know what you think. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next review.